So when was the last time you had your metabolic health evaluated? You might be thinking, what the heck is metabolic health? How do you evaluate it? And who cares? And why care? Well, let's go back and say why we should care first. Metabolic health is the number one cause, or metabolic disease is the number one cause of heart attack, stroke, death, disability, kidney disease, blindness, and for men, even erectile dysfunction. So maybe at this point you're starting to see why I care and why you should care too. But again, what is metabolic health? It's how well you metabolize carbs, how much diabetes or prediabetes that you might have. So why should you be worried about it? Well, at age 18 and above, the last U.S. census, it's a study called NHANES, National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, showed that 52% of us 18 years and older have this disease. And that's causing us to die early and to become disabled earlier and to have things like erectile dysfunction. So again, it impacts our life. Now, so why isn't the public health system, why isn't the government, why aren't people teaching us the signs and symptoms? Because there are none. There are no signs, there are no symptoms. Yes, I know you'll hear about skin tags and things like that. Yes, some people do have those, and those can be a sign, but the vast majority of people that have this problem have no signs, no symptoms. And maybe you're thinking, well, I've already, my doctor knows this, my doctor's checked me and I'm fine. Well, not so fast. Think a little bit harder about that. And maybe you're not aware. 3/4 of doctors don't know how to diagnose this. This is not my opinion. This is surveys coming out of Johns Hopkins, a research group led by Singh and Associates. 3/4 of doctors don't know how to diagnose metabolic disease. And I'm not talking about orthopedists and surgeons. I'm talking about the people that we depend on, that you depend on. I'm talking about family practitioners, even internists, and even cardiologists don't know how to diagnose the major cause of heart attack and stroke. So unfortunately, you've got to learn a little bit on your own. But fortunately, you can. I've had some of my own issues. Well, in fact, you may be asking, well, who is this guy and how does he have any interest in this and what does he know about it? My name is Brewer. I taught this at Johns Hopkins. I trained in preventive medicine at Johns Hopkins. Very few doctors actually trained in prevention. And Johns Hopkins is well recognized as the leading institution for this. It's twice as big as the prevention program at Harvard. Not only did I train there, I went on to run the program there. So I do know a little bit about the academic side, but I've been very frustrated to find out that, as you may be thinking, the academics don't know it all. I learned the hard way with my own problem that the academics weren't quite there. One thing they did was looked at a low-fat diet. Another thing they did was grossly underestimate the prevalence, how common this problem is. Again, we mentioned that 52% over 18, and it gets worse as you get older. By the time you're age 55, it's 88%. So it reminds you of that movie, Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood in it. Are you feeling lucky? Are you really thinking that you don't have this? You probably do. Now, again, given my own experience, I dug deep. I was very frustrated. I taught this at the #1 university in the world and still was surprised to have my own problem at age 57. So I began to research deeper. I began to develop, and what I've done is develop a program that you can use. You can find out your own metabolic health. There are 3 easy, simple components. It's inexpensive. We look at oral glucose tolerance test. We can go into some details about why the tests that your doctors use don't work. Fasting glucose and A1C. We'll do that in a later video, or we'll do that in the seminar. But those tests are the tests that your doctors use, and they don't work. There's some other things that are critical to metabolic health. One is your strength. We do some basic strength assessment, and another one is body fat. Body fat is critical to this, and most people think that maybe the obesity epidemic is driving the diabetes epidemic. It's helping, but it's really not as big of an issue as age. So again, no matter whether you're 18 or 55 or older, you need to be thinking about your metabolic health. You need to not depend on your doctor to understand this. You need to find out how to get this checked on your own. And you can do it right here at home. It's inexpensive. So here are some things that I decided I wanted to do. I wanted to make it inexpensive. I wanted to make it simple. I wanted to make it accessible to anybody. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to get a good assessment of your metabolic health. So click below, and we'll see you on the other side.